Hey guys, welcome back to At Home with Shara. Trying something a little different with the lighting in hopes it's not quite as harsh. This time of year my backyard is shaded and it's affecting it, but anyway, regardless of that, it's time to work on Piglet. I actually finished 3 poos and the next request is a Piglet. So let me show you what I'm using. Of course, you know the standard. I'm using my trusty H clover hook. You may need smaller hook if you crochet loosely, I guess is the word. Row counter, of course, scissors, and some kind of stitch marker. You can use yarn, whatever works for you. I have to do all my disclaimers. This is the Piglet that I'm making. I'm just showing you my interpretation of the pattern. It is from the Disney Leisure Arts Pooh Buddies series. This book is relatively old. I have seen it for sale, like, you know, on eBay and a few things like that. I've been told they're free online. I've been told they aren't. I don't know. So, all of that aside, this thing calls for 4 shades of pink, 1 shade of brown. I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. If you made the Pooh, you're going to have enough of your brown left over. And yeah, that's the one I like because it's just called brown. Then you need 4 shades of pink, ranging from light pink. I'm using a soft pink, hoping that's not too washed out on the screen, but it's the palest pink. Then one called Rosy Cheeks for my medium pink. My pink is called Pink. Convenient, right? And then for my dark pink, I could not find a dark pink per se, but I do have a bright pink here, which is called Hot Rose. So those are the colors I'm going for. I did originally order a purplish color that I believe they were calling Orchid, that on my screen looked like it would be the right color, but it's actually gotten more of a purple hint than a pink hint. So I'm going to go with this one instead. And we're going to start out, I'm not sure how many video segments this will break down into, so you guys have to forgive me if it gets chopped in odd places. Stopping and starting, trying to figure out the flow is hard to know until I've actually finished them all. For our know-how, they do give a gauge. I'm not doing a gauge. This is a stuffed animal. It's, you know, irrelevant for what I'm doing. If you want to do the gauge, by all means, go for it. But my pattern's even written for thread. It's not written for yarn, so it would do me no good. Stitches. Obviously, chain and single crochet. A beginning decrease, which is very quick and easy. I'll show you when we hit one. A decrease, again, a straightforward. The front loop 2 single crochet and the front loop 3 single crochet decrease. And if you did the Pooh, you'll remember those from them. We will, when we hit those, just go over them very quickly, but they're all very intuitive once you've done them once. So I don't really consider this to be a difficult pattern. It does have, let me see here. I think, you know, this guy's going to be pretty straightforward. I really do. So we're going to work on him. I'm going to switch the camera around. I did have some concerns. I'm not always quite able to show my hands exactly on the screen. It's amateur hour here, folks. I don't have any help doing these. I have to see around the camera and see what's going on in my lap. So I have bought an arm, for lack of a technical term, for the tripod. So I'm going to see if that helps. Maybe it will. But if not, forgive any lapses. All the disclaimers, not a pro, yada yada yada, not a professional in anything, not in videography, crocheting, or anything pretty much in life. I'm a really good grandma, but I got that down pat. Of course, I may be biased. But let's get you turned around and get started on that. This Piglet is for my grandson, in fact. Total different side note. He keeps calling it his secret because his granddaddy doesn't know I'm making it, so it's going to be a surprise. And if there's anything else I was supposed to add, just insert it here in my voice and we'll call this little session a wrap, and we'll get flipped around and get started on our ears. I'm hoping, Lord willing, we'll get the ears and the snout done today. I don't know if we'll get the arms and the legs done or not, but I'm going to do my best at any rate. And I'm hoping, talk about ambitious, I am hoping to finish this guy in 3 days and then have a little bit of time to edit the videos and get them up for you. So we'll see if I can do it or not. My little fingers are going to fly. We'll be back in a second. Okay, folks, I am going to test this new setup. Have to forgive my socks. This is the only angle I can find where I'm comfortable to sit for a long amount of time. Okay, we're going to start with the ears, and we're making 2. It says we need our pink. In my case, the Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn is called pink, so pretty easy one. I did stop and write, can you see that? Write down in pencil what colors I was using in hopes I won't get mixed up. So we're making 2 ears. I'm going to demonstrate making 1. Of course, you'll make the second one exactly the same. So we're going to chain 18. And the chain is very simple. I'm going to back up. I just want you guys, anyone that's not crocheted before, because I have had people tell me they're doing these as their first projects. Take your yarn, wrap it around your finger so you get like this. Bring the tail back under it so it looks kind of like this. Insert your hook over this one, under this one, over this one, and pull it tight. I am sure there's a name for that. I don't know what it is, so I just call it a slip knot, I guess. I don't know. 3. I don't really call it anything. 4, 5, 6, 7. And to chain, you have your loop, you wrap it, and you pull it through, and it makes a chain. I have my yarn in the floor, so if you see my hand flopping around, I'm just pulling more out. 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so we have chained 18, and we're joining it into a ring, which means we're just coming back around and joining it here with a slip stitch. And we're going to start with round 1. Very simple. 2 single crochet in the first one, and then 1 single crochet each one around. We should have 19 when we finish. I always find this the most awkward part of any crocheting project, is working in that initial chain. Okay, and that was my 19th stitch. I just counted as I went around. And it says, do not join. Place a marker. How on earth can I lose stuff sitting still? Oh, there it is. My granddaddy used to tell my grandmama that she would lose her head if it wasn't attached, and apparently it runs in the genes because I'm just about as bad. Okay, so we've got a marker. We've got our first 19 stitches. Rounds 2 through 5 are just single crochet around. So I'm actually going to use my row counter, or round counter in this case. Okay, that is the end of round 5, and my fingers don't want to work. There we go. Round 6 is our first decrease row. Now to work a decrease, it's very simple. You see your next 2 stitches, the top of them looks like your chain. You go through both loops and you pull through one, so you have 2 loops on your hook, and then you go to the next stitch, pull one, so you have 3, and this is just simply a decrease, pulling them all through all 3. That's it. That's all a decrease is in single crochet. Now we're going to single crochet in 7, work another decrease. I'll show you again. If you're looking at the top of your work, you see your next 2 stitches. You go in the first one, pull through a loop, go in the second one, pull through a loop, so that you have 3 on, wrap it, pull through all 3. Then we'll finish out our round. Okay, round 7 is also a decrease round. And that's round 7, and you can see our ear is starting to form that pointed shape. Round 8 is another decrease round. Can you hear my cat snoring in the background? I have he's a mixed Siamese, and he just snores. It's the craziest thing. He's getting old, honestly. His name is Cappuccino, but I call him Chi-Chi. It's round 8. Ooh. Round 9 starts a little differently. We're going to decrease twice. So we'll do our first decrease and pull it through, and then our second decrease and pull it through. Decrease, and then 5. That kind of helps give that tip shape. Okay, so that's the end of round 9. Round 10 has only 1 decrease. getting a little tighter because we've decreased down to that tip, but there we go. So we're getting this shape at this point, and that was round 10. Round 11. Round 11 actually has us doing what I would call an increase. So we're doing 2 single crochet in the first one, but then, by the way guys, I've not made this piglet before, so if I make a mistake, sorry. Now we're going to decrease 3 times. Mistake, we just pull it out and redo it because that's how life works. 2 and 3. So there's our 3 decreases. Round 12. Let's see here. One. It always gets harder at these little tips, just twisting it. 4, and then decrease, and then single crochet. Okay, our tip is starting to take a further detail here. Round 13. And then it ends with a decrease. Okay. So this is our last round, and you literally decrease. So decrease and leave the remaining unforworked finish off, leaving a long end for sewing. And it's going to tell us to sew this end together and then lightly stuff. As usual, I'm not stuffing until I actually am putting them together. So to end it off, you do almost like you're just doing a chain, pull it right through. I'm going to leave a longer tail than I probably need because there's nothing worse to me than having a difficulty threading a needle. Pull it through, and there you have it guys, our first ear. You can see it's kind of got this line that's semi-straight, and then the little tip and the curvy part. Oh, let me get it there. There we go. Line straight, little tip, curvy part. You're going to make a second one of these exactly the same. For right now, I'm going to set this aside and actually show the snout. So just stop your video, make your second ear. I'm just going to make mine off camera because you can see there's no reason to do all that. So with the snout, it says starting with the pink, which is the nose, same color we just used. I'm going to chain 5. And working in the back ridge, which means if your chain, if this was the top, you flip it over, and you can see there are little ridges here, or raised bar lines. That's what we're going to work in, and we should have 4 single crochets. So you start with the second chain from the hook, so not this one, but this one. Go through that bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to begin working in rounds at this point, so we've just got this little thing here. What that allows, just in case you don't know, is it leaves a chain on showing on the underside. That's easier to work in when you go into rounds. So chain 1 and turn. Now we're going to follow the directions across. So 2 single crochet in that same single crochet in the next 2, so 1, 2, 2 single crochet in the last one, which is kind of going to be forming the corner or the tip there. Working in the free loops of the beginning chain, that's this side that we created. Skip the first chain, then 2 single crochet, then single crochet in the next 2, and then 2. So we've got 4 that we're working in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what they're telling you to skip is really that part that you turned there. So you come here and do 2 single crochet, which is rounding the corner of your nose, or yeah, the corner, I guess I'd say, rounding the tip. 2 single crochets, and then a single crochet in each of the next 2, and then 2 single crochets in the last one. So you see your original chain would have been here in the middle, and we've now worked around it on both sides. Join with the slip stitch to the first single crochet. Now at this point, if you're not sure, you're not comfortable doing this, go back and count your stitches. We need 12. And we have 12. I kind of find that to be the easiest way to make sure I get started off on the right foot is just stop and count periodically. And especially at the beginning, because if you start off wrong, it messes the whole project up. Now, we actually are going to finish this off, which means I'm going to pull it through like I'm doing a chain. I'm going to leave a longer tail, even though I'll stuff it to the inside. I don't want any chance of it pulling through. And that is our nose. Now we need our light pink, and I apologize because I'm going to have to lean and reach to grab it. Why I didn't grab it, have it ready right beside me, I don't know, but you know, hindsight and all that good stuff. So my light pink, again, I'm using the soft pink that I could find at Hobby Lobby. I could find some closer colors to mix in the Red Heart yarn, but I'm not as crazy about mixing the textures. They both feel different to my hands. So we are going to, with the right side of the nose facing, I'm just getting my yarn hooked onto my needle, join in the same stitch that we joined with the slip stitch here. You see where tail is sticking out, so we're going in that stitch. And we're going to do I'm doing a single crochet join, which means I am, there we go, yarn on the hook, through, wrap it so that I've got 2 loops, and instead of pulling it through and doing a chain and all that, I'm doing a single crochet here. So I'll wrap it, pull it through both loops. It just makes it more of a stand-up join. Okay, join with a single crochet in the same stitch, and then single crochet in that same stitch. So we're going to have 2 stitches there. Then it says 2 single crochet in the next single crochet, and in each single crochet around. So we're going to have 24 single crochets. So we're going to do 2 in each one. So that's 2, 4, Okay, that was 24 stitches. Pull that tail out of the way and join. Let me take that marker out of my mouth. Sorry, guys. Join with a slip stitch. There's our 24 stitches. We're going to chain one. I am going to mark my last stitch just to be safe because I haven't read the next round on this. Round 3 says to working in the back loop only, single crochet around. Join with a slip stitch in both loops of the first single crochet. Okay, so back loop only. If your work is like this, the front loop is the one toward you, the back loop is the one toward this side, away from you. There we go, that's the way to say it. So front loop forward towards you, back loop away from you. And we're working in the back loop, and it just says to single crochet around, so we're going to have 24. So you come looking at your work. I'm skipping this one completely and going in here. It's going to kind of form that little ridge that gives some dimension. Whoops. Okay, let me double count and make sure I have 24. Okay, now it says, reminds us when we're joining in our first single crochet here to go in both loops. So make sure that you here go through both loops to do your join. And round, let me adjust this. That was round, shoot, too fast. That was round 3. Round 4 is just working even, so in through both loops though. Join with a slip stitch to your first one and chain 1. Okay, round 5 has some increases, just 2 though. So in the first stitch we're going to work 2 single crochets. Gonna single crochet in the next 11. You guys follow along on your pattern. Then we're going to do an increase, which means 2 single crochets in the next one, and then we're going to single crochet in 11 more. And I'm going to turn the page instead of ending off, because I did that last time on Pooh and then realized there were more directions on the other page. Okay, so that was round 5. We're going to join it with a slip stitch, chain 1. Round 6, we are actually just working around, so it's going to be 26 single crochets in both loops. It was 26, and we're joining with a slip stitch. Okay, this is our last round. Round 7, and we are increasing again. So let's see. 2 in the first one, then 12. And then 2 in the next one, and then 12. Okay, and join with the slip stitch and end it off. And it says to place a marker in that stitch. I'm going to leave a decent tail here. Place a marker in that stitch just for stitch placement later. I find it's easiest to just do a piece of thread for those. I just literally come right here to that same stitch, catch my thread and pull it through, and then just tie myself a little knot in it so that it's marked. Okay guys, that is our snout, and when I pull that end through and secure it on the back, it takes care of that little tip. So here is our snout. So we now have our ears and our snout finished. This seems like a good spot to stop this section of the video. I'm going to go ahead and work on the arms, so I will do that for what I think you guys will see as the second video. But I'm going to just go ahead and do that now in just a moment. But it's an easy breaking point for my recording. And honestly, my cat is trying to get out because I have the bedroom door shut, so I'm just going to go let him out. So I'll be back in a jiffy with the arm.